You're watching 5 Star Takes with Tony Deppen. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like it, and also watch my fucking podcast with these guys because it was great.
It's well, at least when we're recording, it's Thursday night, and you know what that means? It means I get to spend some time and talk with my buddy Isaac.
Hell yeah, you do. I'm going to talk with my buddy DDJ because what is this? This is 5 Star motherfucking takes in the house.
Yeah, you may notice Shane is not with us today. He's kind of doing his own thing. He's had a lot going on, so he's taking a breather, enjoying some not so hopefully stressful night hours at home and stuff. So, but we're gonna pick up the slack here because we got an action-packed show, and at some point,
oh man,
and this was just confirmed like earlier today as of this recording. We've got some big news concerning next week's episodes that we're not gonna drop it right now. We're gonna make y'all wait. That's what you call a tease.
No. As Dikembe Mutombo would say, no.
But you know what? Before we in order to get to that announcement, we got to start the show. So what do you say, Isaac? Should we start the show?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Ah, man. Wait a minute. What in the world?
What do you mean, what in the world, man? What's going on, dude?
God, I feel like I'm looking into a basement scene from that 70s show.
Oh, no, man. This is that 2024 show, bro. 420 show, whatever you want to call it.
But, well, speaking of that 70s show, I still have to get on Netflix and watch the newest part of that 90s show.
Oh, yeah. I got to say, I switched. And this is a shameless plug, and maybe I can get like, $2 off my phone bill or something. But I switched to T-Mobile from AT&T, and not only did my bill drop from like $170 a month to $95 a month.
Wow.
And that's including my brand new fucking Pixel, but I get free Apple TV Plus. I get free Netflix, and I think you get like free Hulu too.
For how long?
As long as you have the plan.
Wow. Well, hey, you mentioned Apple TV Plus. There's a really good. Were you ever a fan of the video game Tetris?
Tetris. I remember the game. It was one of those games that I always wanted to be good at, and I was always terrible at, and it infuriated me. It made me so angry.
Well, the reason why I ask is because on Apple TV Plus, they've got a really good movie that's it's all about it's basically the story of Tetris and stuff. So,
oh, nice.
So yeah, definitely check it out. I remember, I think I watched it the day it came out because I think when it came out, I was still off work due to my one of my knee injuries and stuff, and I absolutely loved it. It's a great story, and I highly recommend to anyone out there that's got Apple TV Plus.
If you like stuff like that, you should check out The King of Kong, which is about the guys who have the Donkey Kong competition.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that is that takes place, I think, at Fun Spot in New Hampshire, which is, like maybe an hour from me.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, dude, it's probably like ultimately one of the best arcades in the country right now because it's all, I mean, they have a lot of new games, but they have like every old school machine, and almost every old school machine is a nickel a play.
I will
So
see.
you can just like you just drop $5 and you can fucking get like 100 plays.
What was it? What was the name of that arcade?
I think it's called Fun Spot.
Well, I'm gonna
Or
take. I'm gonna see
Fun
your.
Spot? I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. That sounds great and all, but if anybody out there listening, especially if you're in my neck of the woods, in the Chicagoland area, the arcade of all arcades is located in Brookfield, Illinois, right by the world famous Brookfield Zoo. It's called Galloping Ghost. They actually just about 2-3 weeks ago unveiled their 1,000th arcade game on their floor. And what's great about it is this place has almost every single arcade game you could think of. You could play this one. Really could have stopped at this gas station on a road trip one time, played this game one time, and Galloping Ghost has it. It's just, the building is huge. They've done multiple expansions to accommodate all the games they got in. They charge a flat rate. I think it's 25, I believe. Last time I went, I went a couple months ago with a couple of buddies from work. But they literally, you pay $25, one flat rate. You get to go for the day. Everything's set to free play.
Nice. Yeah, everything's
they have a
pretty much
pinball.
a nickel.
They have
play.
a pinball, and then they also have another, like that's down just a couple blocks away. They have another building that I can't remember how many they have, but it's nothing but pinball machines, and you can pay a little bit extra, and you get unlimited entry for the day for both places.
Yeah, this one's got about 650 games, 20 lanes of bowling, 18-hole indoor mini golf, plus a restaurant and bar.
Oh wow!
Yeah, dude, it's fucking. If you look up Fun Spot, like it's legit, like because it's a very classic. Like they really have like every old school game you can imagine. Like almost all of those 600 games are just like classic, like old school arcade machines, and like you get your card, and like I said, it's a nickel a play. Yeah. So it's like you can go in and spend $5 and literally play for fucking hours.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of things to do on a weekend, we had
so exciting.
Yeah, we've had a couple of wrestling fans have had a lot to do on these past couple of weekends. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we had All In, and then this past week we had two shows. Starting off with WWE's Bash It at Berlin, and let's just get right into it. What did you think of the show?
I enjoyed the show. I mean, there was some unexpected twists. I will say, I had of all the things I caught right, I did get one thing right that no one else thought would happen, and that was CM Punk got his bracelet back, and I called that. And you thought it was going to keep going, but I said he's getting his bracelet back.
Yeah, but did you watch Monday Night Raw?
Nope. Did he lose it again?
Not only did not only did he lose it again, Drew McIntyre broke it.
Oh no! The bracelet's broken?
Yep.
Oh wow! So see, but he got it back, and that's all I was saying. And you were right; it's not over with the bracelet, but he got it back. Yeah. I would say, I guess, what should we start at the beginning with Cody and Kevin?
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
That was a really fun match. I mean, that was obviously a match where we knew going in who was going to win, and there's something about the way that they called the match that like kind of irritated me, because it was like you go and Owens is going to lose because it's fucking there's just no reason for him to win. And them just being like, it's been fucking years, and he fucking doesn't have his shit together, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't have that fight, and like they were really being like, he doesn't have that dog in him, he doesn't have like the fucking, and like I'm sure it's building right to like something more, but it's also like, damn dude, like leave the poor guy alone. He's a fucking badass. It's not his fault he's losing the match. But the match itself was really good, and the crowd was hot as hell for him. I thought it was a good way to open the show. get fans going, but without, like really, like having to put a match like that at last when I mean, the outcome of the last match, but there's no way that Gunther's not main eventing the show.
Right.
So you might as well put that on. Everyone knows the outcome. Then you can put the more surprising shit in the middle, and then end with Gunther kicking the shit out of fucking Randy, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and so like on that note, like I thought it was good. Was it the best match I've seen from those guys? No,
No.
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't like the Kevin Owens shit and the storytelling of him being like, oh, he's conflicted. Oh, should he do it? Is he going to do the power bomb on the apron to Cody? And it's like, I've seen him do it to Sami Zayn like the first day in NXT because he wanted that belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's his best friend in wrestling forever, right? So
BFF.
so like why? I mean, it's fine for a story. It's fine. It's compelling, but it also at the same time, anybody who's paid attention to Kevin Owens for any part of his career is like, bullshit. Kevin Owens would fucking rip his throat out if he could to get a shot at that fucking belt or to get that belt. And so trying to tell a story where he's conflicted about that just doesn't ring true to who everybody knows Kevin Owens is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I guess there's room for a comeback, and
yeah, and that's why I didn't have as much of an issue with that as it seems as if you did and stuff, because it's like I kind of wondered, like, again, we all were pretty much under the assumption that Cody wasn't dropping the title.
no, I mean, we
But
all called it.
yeah.
That was one of the few we got right for this. I think we got 3 of them right.
Yeah, I think but it wasn't the best weekend for any of us, but
No. Which is good for WWE because it's like
right.
I felt it was all pretty predictable. Some of the decisions, and we'll get to it, I don't think made any fucking sense, but we'll keep going. But yeah, I think, I mean, I want to hear the rest of your thoughts on Cody and
yeah, and kind of going into that, I really, like I said, I knew Cody wasn't dropping the title, but it's kind of like, okay, you know where they're going, but how are they going to get there? And that's kind of a lot of times with a lot of these matches that may seem predictable or obvious. That's what still keeps me going. It's like, yeah, I'm sure Cody's going to win, but like, how are they going to get from start to finish and what's going to happen in between? And I'm thinking to myself, is Kevin going to turn heel? Is something going to happen? And you could see the signs and stuff. And I think we eventually may get there with Kevin. I don't know. But I mean, it was I enjoyed the conflict because it's like you'd see like little subtle hints at, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe he's going to snap and the real Kevin Owens is going to finally rear his ugly head. But, it didn't happen. And then after the match, the teases as well, too. And then eventually, they shook hands, they embraced, and, they walked off as friends. And
I do, and shout out to Kevin because I do love Owens. I mean, whether it's like building towards something or not, but like aggressively throwing Cody's like hand off his wrist when he tried to raise his hand and then raise Cody's, right?
Yeah, yep.
Like that felt very like, it was like, oh damn, okay, that felt a little more KO. But still, like that, I mean, that was my biggest issue. I thought the match itself was good, but once they, like the power bomb on the apron thing and not wanting to go for it because like he likes the guy or whatever, and I'm like, that doesn't ring true. That doesn't feel right with who he is as a wrestler and who he's been as a wrestler, as the prize fighter, or any of it. And like, I guess like them trying to question, oh, is he still the prize fighter? But that's what was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I guess for me, it's like when you go into the match where the guy's going to lose, and then all they talk about on commentary is how he just doesn't have it anymore. Is a weird feeling for a guy who absolutely fucking still has it and should be fucking consistently in the main event, especially like when you look at like the match you put on with Stone Cold, right? That shit was fucking a 20-minute fucking banger.
And that was considering, that was Austin's first actual match in what, like almost 20 years.
Yeah. And not only that, but Austin didn't show up once, right? For the build to that. That was all KO.
Yeah,
Right, that was
you're
the
right.
guy. Every time he goes out there, he fucking overperforms at everything he does, and so it just is like it felt weird and also like almost disrespectful to how fucking good he is. But that being said, the match itself was good, and I don't have any problems with the work. I don't have any problems with that shit. I just think that the way it was booked and the way that it was called was. I mean, it was great for Cody, but I don't know if it helped Kevin Owens in any way in the end.
No, I don't think it. I don't think it did, but I don't think. And conversely, I don't think it hurt him
Hey,
because
DDJ,
yes.
is there anyone in the lobby?
Wait, what?
Oh, dog. Here we
Hold on.
go.
You know what? We got someone in the lobby, but before we bring that person in, let's take a quick commercial break so we can make this transition look professional.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, it's DDJ from 5 Star Takes, and when I come up to Milwaukee to see the Brewers play, there's one place that I always make it a point to stop at. Waukesha Sports Cards. Come on, let's go inside and check out what they got. Thank you. Thank you. Be sure to stop by one of their 3 locations or go to www.waukeshasportscards.com.
Oh, man, look who we got in the house.
Hey,
Hello.
Shane. We weren't expecting you tonight.
Yeah,
I was expecting him.
yeah.
but
I figured that I, I mean, I can't be on for too long, but I figured I'd hop on and say hello for 15 or so minutes.
All right, well, we got 15 or so minutes for you. You come in. We just started talking about Bash in Berlin.
we're talking
and
Bash in Berlin. We're just
talked about the
talking about
opener.
Cody
So-
and KO. DDJ enjoyed it. I said that I didn't really enjoy the fact that they disrespected our man KO so viciously on commentary the whole time.
And I didn't watch it, so I have nothing to
My dude. Oh my God, Shane, you should tell DDJ a little bit of your good news. I don't think he knows
about what?
About your life, man.
Oh,
Or do you want to keep that thing?
We'll keep that to private conversation.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
Well, he's got a good news. Anyway, congratulations for good news.
Wow, we got a lot of good news going on today.
I know.
Shane's good news, and before you know what, and I figure since Shane is here, we should move up the announcement for next week's episode up to where since Shane's here, he can be a part of it as well too. But we're gonna still save it. I'm not doing that now. We're gonna play it in a little bit right before Shane
so close.
leaves.
We're so close, guys. Oh my God, it's gonna be epic. You're gonna be so excited.
Yeah. So Shane, what were your thoughts on Cody versus KO?
Oh, he didn't watch it.
Yeah. No, I've not seen the Bash in Berlin. I can talk about my thoughts on the booking, but
okay, go ahead and give your thoughts on the booking.
Well, I mean that's just what was going to happen. Kevin went in with no chance. He wrestled with no chance. I mean, from everything I've seen, I enjoy the fact that they kind of played, with Kevin's morality during the match. And, I mean, I did see the spot where, Cody's like, my leg is fine. And Kevin was like, okay. And then he kicked it out from underneath him. And I was like,
Yeah.
That's classic KO.
But
yeah,
that was the only classic KO moment.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I'm glad that if they're going to turn him heel, they're at least putting the effort in to like make it, like a storyline thing, you know what I mean? And not just like a big show. Oh, Kevin's turning heel because Kevin's turning heel sort of moment.
They'll never see it coming, pal.
Yeah. I mean, I can see Kevin Owens as heel at any point in time ever, really.
Yeah. He's one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the best heels that the fucking company has, man.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I liked it and stuff, but Isaac, well, what do we got next up on Bash at Berlin?
Oh man, Bash at Berlin next. Let me just pull this up because I was looking on my phone too. We have it's the tag team for the women's championship. I will say, and this isn't the best match. We all got this one wrong, right? We thought this was, them turning. Jade Cargill has been working really hard, and you can fucking see an improvement from the last time that I saw her work in the ring. She looks a lot crisper. Like the shit she was doing felt a lot tighter. You can just tell that she's been
doing the work.
Yeah, they have not let her slide on that, and she hasn't been.
I wonder who's training her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if it's Bianca is in there with her. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure they got a lot. I mean, I'm sure she's spending time down at the Performance Center, which
Sean.
I mean, and this is something that definitely, Tony Khan could benefit from having because, it's they really don't have it dedicated. I mean, yeah, they have places like, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory was, supplying some talent, I know, and stuff. And there are other places, but I feel like, some of these guys that they just kind of brought in just to bring in, could have benefited from the, like training, like at a performance center, like place. And I mean, Jade Cargill is a prime example of that being the case because like Isaac said, she's definitely gotten better and she's still got a ways to go, but she's going to get there eventually. And once she does, and all the pieces are finally in place, she's going to be someone, barring a major injury, it's going to be special and is going to be a star in that company for a long time. But I thought this may have been the moment, when maybe they split up Bianca and Jade, but maybe they just don't feel like, Jade's ready quite yet to go out on her own and stuff. And maybe just a little bit more time with Bianca and the belts and stuff may get her ready. But eventually I think that we're going to know when WWE is ready to, let Jade Cargill fly is when that team splits up.
And it's gonna absolutely be Bianca turning because I think they want to see her as a mega face. And so they'll turn Bianca on her and then, like have them betray and have that be the first big story is her fighting back. That's what I mean. Seems like the logical path forward on it.
I think Bianca could benefit from a heel turn. I really do, more so than Jade at this point, because she's had her run and it was a great run, as like really, I guess you could say the top women's baby face of the company and stuff. And I mean, she's proven she can play a heel if you watch some of her early stuff in NXT.
Oh, she's also just one of the most incredible fucking workers in the women's division too. I mean, people talk a lot about, the best women in wrestling and her name isn't brought up much. And I think that's a fucking crime because I genuinely think she's proven time and time again that she can fucking put on clinics, but also have like incredible moments. I mean, like, I think of the time, I think it was Becky Lynch or whatever, who she snapped the hair across her fucking belly or whatever. And like,
you think about the Sasha from Mania.
I think it was Sasha that did that, where she did the hair whip and it left like this mark on her stomach.
I mean, it could have been Becky too. I mean, she's
maybe it was. I don't remember who she did it on. I just remember her doing the hair whip and fucking leaving that welt. And like just things like that, like she is like, like makes lasting impressions. She's got all the star power in the world, and and I think that's one of the smarter things that they've done is, tag those two up and let her be a workhorse and allow, a absolute star like Jade to get some more work in, and it's showing that it's been working. And like, I can't say too much more about the match because I didn't really get that into it, but I did notice a huge improvement in her in-ring work, which is great. It's what you want to see.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are quite out of the picture yet because they do believe they won a number one contenders match a couple days later on Raw. Are going to get
and who was it? One of the damage control members got cut in that match, right?
Was Kairi Sane, I believe.
Yeah, I mean she got busted open pretty good.
Yeah. And it happens,
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
It was like her eye or something got fucking.
There's something above her eye, like but I could see.
It
I
looked
remember
pretty
watching
rough.
that, like, is she bleeding or
and
stuff? Because she has all that hair, to kind of cover it up. So, but But yeah, it was what it was and stuff. But I think it was kind of, that gap filler in between the, Cody versus KO and our next match that we're going to talk about,
which is
arguably the match that's really, I think, majority of the crowd. Well, maybe not necessarily the crowd there, but the majority of the people tuning in to watch the show we're looking forward to. And that was that strap match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And oh my God, that was easily the match of the night.
I mean, and it's really funny because I was like, anytime they do a strap match, I'm like, and there was one moment in it that was really funny, and that was when the strap came off, and they like kept working, and like it took them like a full like minute plus before the referee's like, I'm just going to put this back on your wrist if you're not going to pick it back up. Because CM Punk was just like, whatever. He was just still going. But the match itself, like, honestly, first strap match, it was really good. I thought they did a really good job of storytelling in it. I definitely, I called that one. Like, I think we all said CM Punk wins this. And yeah, I mean, it was the right thing to do. At the same time, a lot. I think the whole pay-per-view sort of like the thing that elevated the pay-per-view the most was the crowd. But in a lot of ways, it felt like an overseas pay-per-view. Right.
I mean, they were in Germany. So.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is it did have the feel of like a big house show almost. And you know what the outcomes of the matches are going to be, but the matches were really fun.
Yeah. And the one thing
this is like that.
And the one thing I really liked about that match was the end. Like, when they went to the end, go to sleep, touch the corner, go to sleep, touch the corner, go to sleep, touch the corner, go to sleep, touch the corner to win. I love that because that was like the emphatic, like, you know what, this is it. I'm done with you, whatever you want to say. I mean, obviously it doesn't look like it's done, judging by what happened on Raw a couple days later and stuff. But I love that finish. I thought it was great. Drew's been doing some of the best work of his career the last year or so. And
the best.
Yeah, and Punk, and this was Punk's first win singles. This is his first, I think, singles win, and what was it? They said like 10.5 years or something.
It's only his second match, I think, back in WWE, or at least second singles match back in WWE.
Yeah, it's only his third televised match because he had the Rumble when he got hurt, and then the two matches with Drew. And I mean, he had a couple of non-televised matches in between his return and the Rumble match with, I believe it was Dominic Mysterio at a couple house shows just to kind of get him going and stuff. But yeah.
He's been killing it, man. Killing it. Great acquisition. Super smart. I don't care what Shade says.
And you know what? And it looks like he's back to enjoying himself. He just seems like he's enjoying. He doesn't feel he looks like he's not doing it because he has to do it. He looks like he's doing it because he wants to do it.
Yeah, and CM Punk, especially since he came back from the initial WWE run injury, has been the least insufferable I've felt about Punk really since he walked out of WWE the first time.
I mean, and I'm just thinking this, but he single-handed. I mean, Drew has done a great job, but this fucking feud with CM Punk has elevated Drew McIntyre to a whole new level. It really has taken him to a whole new level, to the point where even I'm like, damn, this dude is fucking great, and this is a great feud.
Man, all right, boys, I'm about to hop off, but I'm gonna leave you with my 5-star take. All right.
All right.
And then we're gonna make sure you get to see this video.
Yes. So, my 5-star take is that if, Drew ends up burning Punk's house down, they're going to have a Hell in a Cell Inferno combination match. There's going to be the Inferno match, flamethrowers on the ceiling, and then they're just going to shoot down, what was it? Was that old video game? Old arcade game? Oh God, Smash TV style.
Oh, Smash TV, and we were talking about arcades like right when we first started. Smash TV, that's another great arcade game.
Yeah, man, I haven't seen a single movie, but boy, will I pull Smash TV out of the old keister.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Holy shit. Well, I guess we're gonna talk about next week real quick. So DDJ, I think, has a little video that he's put together.
So before we do that, though, a lot of our show, the next week's show is not going to be, it's going to be unlike any other show we've done so far. And those that have been with us since the beginning, thank you and stuff. But next week's going to be very special. And I'm going to play a little video as to why. So here we go.
Isaac here. 5-star takes. I am sharing some really exciting news with you guys. Next week, we're going to be celebrating the life and achievements of Harley Race, and we will be joined by none other than his son, Justin, who will be able to share some amazing stories and some memories with us, and I am so excited. So next week, Friday, 11 a.m., join us and listen to our interview with Harley Race's son, only on 5-star takes. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's and this, how this came about was I'm a member of this NWA fan group on Facebook, and one day out of the blue I started seeing this guy posting these old pictures of Harley Race and telling these stories, and I looked at it, and it was his son Justin. It was just the things he said about his dad and just the stories he could tell. And from the first moment I saw one of his posts, I thought to myself, man, the stories he could tell about his dad and what it was like, being the son of, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh, I would love to interview him. So just about a week or so ago, I just was like, you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I'm going to shoot my shot. And I reached out to him. We went back and forth, and it was confirmed within the last couple of days, and barring anything major, anything like that, next week we're going to be interviewing Justin Race, the son of former 8-time NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Harley Race, and it's going to be a great episode because we all loved Harley, we're all fans of his, and just the story. I'm so excited about listening to the stories.
Yeah, DDJ, you're gonna have an absolute field day, buddy.
Now the fun part is trying to go through all my wrestling shirts, trying to dig out my Harley Race shirt that I have in the back somewhere.
Forget that, man. You need to use that old supercomputer up there of yours to craft some questions, man.
Hell yeah,
oh, dude. I've already got some questions.
He's got to narrow it down. He's going to narrow it down to the top 400.
Yeah, and even then, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you wearing on your second birthday?
This ain't gonna be like Godfather cutting a promo on me.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, listen, if Justin Race cuts a promo on you, that's you know, that's a W in my book for you, Dennis. All right, boys.
But if he takes a shit on the podcast, there's no more fucking Justins allowed.
Yeah, no. Justin for Shane. All right, boys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Love you,
Thanks,
Shane.
See y'all
We love you,
soon.
man.
Bye, everybody. Love y'all.
Peace.
Love you. All right, hang on 1 second here.
Yeah, we're gonna switch over here. We're gonna do a little chicka. I'm gonna switch over here. He's gonna switch up here. Oh,
And
well,
we're
where we're
back.
supposed to be. Oh man,
that was.
good.
It's just, and you could tell he's just a kid that loved his dad, man.
That's awesome. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the stories and he also hear just what it's like to have a father who has to travel 320 days a year or whatever,
and was like was considered at many points throughout the years the best at what he did. I mean, like the number one guy. I mean, back in the day when you were the NWA champion, you were the best in your field. You were the top guy. And it's just, at the time it was unprecedented for him, being I believe he's officially recognized as an 8-time champion and stuff. And I mean, there's so many things. I mean, I want to talk to him about his matches, Justin, about his matches with Flair and just what it was, that kind of stuff and all that. But we got to get back on track here because
let's do it.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week.
Yeah, we got the Terror Twins versus Dirty Dom and
Liv Morgan. And
this is another one we got wrong.
Yeah, and I was honestly surprised because I felt like that somehow Dirty Dom and Liv were gonna win, like like a screwy finish or something.
I mean, they had the whole, crew there. I mean, you had Finn Balor, you had all those guys who would have been easy.
JD, Carlito, and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's more so. I don't think we're done with Rhea versus Liv. I honestly feel like we're gonna see those two inside, in some sort of match coming up at Bad Blood, possibly the women's Hell in a Cell match. And
I would assume so, yeah.
And that so. But yeah, it was what it was. I mean, obviously, Damian and Rhea are working out, great together, and crowd seems to be into them. I mean, they're super over as baby faces right now and stuff. Mm-hmm. And again, if you guys haven't had a chance to go on Peacock and watch the documentary they did on Damian Priest, please do so because it was really good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but the match was good. I mean, I am just so impressed with. I mean, everyone involved has grown so much since their NXT days. But I mean, still, fucking Dominic Mysterio is the just most incredible fucking heel on the planet, and the fact
he's so young,
and the fact that he was the hottest heel in the business to the point where he got over, they had to turn him heel again, right? Mm-hmm. They had to double heel the heel, right? Like the whole thing is so fucking crazy, and it's so easy, but he's come I don't know, what would you call it? The comeback award or whatever, the most fucking advanced. And
I would say he's arguably, let's say the last 2 years, he's probably been the biggest breakout talent in all of professional wrestling. I mean, nobody I don't even think going back to when he initially turned heel at the Clash at the Castle, I think it was in 22. Yeah, because that was the following year was in 20 WrestleMania at 39 in 2023 was when he had the match with his dad, and he had that really cool entrance coming out of the police van and stuff. But
that was great. Yeah, and I
don't think anybody expected him to be where he's at when he turned heel.
Most improved, because I mean, you look at where he was when he came in, and I mean, he just hey, it's Rey Mysterio's son, and you look at him and you're like, him. Then slowly but surely, he just fucking grew out the hair, and as he grew out the hair and the mustache, he just got more and more like fucking Dirty Dom, and like
More like
dude,
Uncle Eddie.
I mean, incredible, just
Mhm.
incredible work on his part.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise that he gets it the way he does, and like
He does.
and it's just another thing where it's like, for the most part, like you look at the work that Triple H has done since he's
Mhm.
taken over with the people that like he's like recognizes can make him a lot of money, and I mean, with Cody Rhodes, with Damian Priest, with Walter, or with Gunther, with
Mhm.
Rhea Ripley, with Dom, with Liv. Man, like he's been killing it with every
Yeah.
one of them in the way that they're presented and the way that they're booked. It's like it's really like to his credit. I mean, like they've turned the whole company around in a way that 3 or 4 years ago was unimaginable.
Yeah. I mean,
It
you look
really
at all
is.
you look at, the business they're doing. I mean, they're always touting,
Hmm.
highest grossing arena show in history,
Hmm.
biggest state. It's just all these records that they just seem to be smashing every
Hmm.
time and stuff, and it's just, yeah, the WWE.
Wrestling's cool again.
It is. And I mean, it's just, it's crazy because, like you mentioned, you think about where WWE was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
I always like to say, that it was kind of like the old Freaky Friday switch or whatever, where it's like WWE and AEW switched bodies. I mean, AEW's gotten better, and we're going to get into a little bit of that when we talk about, when we preview All In here in a little bit and give our takes on what's going to happen this weekend and stuff. But yeah, going back to it's crazy what WWE's doing.
Hmm.
I mean, again, that mixed tag match is really good and stuff. And let's get to the main event of the evening that night. And it was Randy Orton trying to go for number 15 against Gunther, when his first defense here as a world heavyweight
Hmm.
champion. Isaac, what were your thoughts?
Um, this one, man, I'm a big Gunther guy, and this match was one of the weakest, I think, of his uh any of his title, like any of his like big pay-per-view matches. And that's not to say it was bad. And Randy was great, but it something didn't click for me for this one. And it's, I might have to go rewatch it because I was tired. But it was it was like 35 minutes almost.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was 34 and change, and it's like it just felt like yeah, it felt like another one of those matches where the outcome. Like it never felt like Randy was going to win that. Even though the storytelling behind why what he could win is more compelling than it was maybe for the Kevin Owens match, but ultimately we knew the outcome. And
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, it felt kind of drawn out. And, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I was hoping for from those two.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Would you say that their first match with the finals of the King of Ring, you thought that was better?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's fair. But I think it did I think that, and I would agree with you. I thought the first match, despite the possibly botched ending with
Yeah.
the pin and stuff, yeah, overall I would think that match was better. But I think this match did what it needed to do, and that was to establish Gunther as that legitimate monster heel world champion. Because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, he didn't pin Randy. He made him he either made him. I think he made him tap. Which
Yeah.
when was the last time? Can you honest? The last time I think I ever remember Randy Orton tapping in a match was, excuse me, was maybe almost 20 years ago against Kurt Angle.
Yeah. I mean, maybe something, yeah, when he was in Evolution, something like that, but not really since his singles run.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't have any like glaring issues with it. Like I said, something just didn't click fully for me for the whole match.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I I think the outcome was great. I think they made Randy look really fucking strong.
Right.
I kind of question the judgment of that, but I also don't. Um, I think that like you can, I think Gunther has a lot to gain by fucking dominating someone like Randy Orton more like viciously, but at the same time, like it still accomplishes a lot. So, but yeah, it was good.
Right.
It was a good main event. The crowd was so into it. They were so
Mhm.
behind Gunther, and that was really fun.
Yeah, and one of the things that I kind of liked from that was, they brought out Ludwig Kaiser at the end, and he embraced because Kaiser and Gunther have had a long history
Hmm.
dating back to even before they both showed up, in NXT UK, and it's just I loved it, and Kaiser being, the hometown kid.
Ludwig Kaiser is one of my one of my favorites in
He's
WWE right
really
now.
starting to establish himself as a legit threat in that mid card,
I've been saying it to Shane the whole time. Like I think the guy's got everything he needs to be a really successful fucking
I
star.
I wouldn't be surprised at
Yeah.
that either.
He's got that look, man. He's got that attitude. He can pull the trigger and really turn it up. Like he gets it in a way that, a lot of people don't. And,
And he's
like
just
so
like
far.
that. And the thing is he's just got that natural cocky,
Yeah.
cocky as hell. I'm better
Yeah.
than you, nose
He's
up
not
in
a
the air,
he's yeah,
dignified heel.
he
Like
could
he's just
never
got
be
that
a
look naturally.
face. He could never be the face. Like
And he
but we
thrives
don't
as a
need
heel.
him. Yeah, and that's the thing is like I think the biggest thing is like it's a blessing and a curse is like being Gunther's partner. You know what I mean, or being associated
Mhm.
with Gunther because then you're always going to have to be compared to him. And like I think it's great because he gets to be associated with that, but at the same time like sometimes when someone's that good, you kind of get lost, and you don't want someone of that caliber to end up as like the Marty Jannetty of the thing, right?
That's
Because
no, he
he's
that's kind of I think what's happened to Giovanni Vinci.
yeah.
I mean, save for a couple vignettes on SmackDown since they split up Kaiser and Vinci.
Yeah, I haven't
You've
seen
not seen
anything.
Vinci at all.
He's fucking gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. So,
yeah,
but but yeah, again. We talked about how busy last weekend was. That was just one show, but there was another show that the WWE umbrella put on, and that was NXT No Mercy. And we're running a little long here, so we might have to kind of breeze through this a little bit. But let's get into
yeah.
No Mercy thoughts. Now, I'm assuming you watched that as well, or
I watched the first few matches. I didn't have time to watch the whole thing, but I uh, I watched the first two matches, and I had some. Man, I was the Chase U match was a great match. First of all,
yes, that was a great opener.
a really good match. I do not, for the life of me, understand why they did they made Chase U lose and then had Ridge turn went like then it just felt rushed, man, because they finally like had like they finally it was like only like a month ago they were like yeah you're we accept you, and he had that big match and they won the
Mhm.
belts at the last show, and now he turns and like it's a moment that like we're waiting for. I think we all knew it was going to come, but
Mhm.
it felt like it was way too soon. I would have loved to see them run at least a couple more shows with the
Yeah.
belts, because I think Chase U is fucking like they're so over right now.
Mhm.
Andrew Chase is on Andre
Andre.
Chase is
Yeah.
fucking great in ring, and Ridge has been killing it, and the whole story has been really good.
Yeah.
So, but that's just that's nitpicky, ultimately.
Yeah. I think we were all in agreement. If any team was going to break up during this match, it was going to be Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
I know, and I think that was like one of the things is like you saw it because they had I think two spots where like
Mhm.
they were off, like they were like one where they ran into each other or whatever, but you know, it was very like clear, like they were still working, that like these two are having issues. So I was surprised to see him get the belts back. I think we all went against them, so it was another one you got wrong. But I mean, it was a good match. I mean, it was really fucking fun. After that, yeah, it was the Zach Wentz versus Wes Lee, which might be the most baffling. I was shocked that Wesley lost this one.
You know what? I thought about this, and I feel like, you know, and I think they alluded to it. Wentz came out, he had just won the X Division title like 2 nights prior at Emergence. And I feel like had he come into that match without that belt and it was just straight up 1-on-1 and Wentz didn't have a championship with him, I think we would have seen a different result. I think that is the reason why and stuff, you know. But I feel like this isn't over because I believe it's next week on NXT. Frazier and Axiom are defending against Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. The Rascals are defending the NXT tag team championships, and I think Wesley's going to play a role in that finish and stuff. But I mean, I was shocked too. But I think when we made our predictions, that was before Wentz won the championship, and I feel like because of the fact that, you know, someone had just won a championship, you know, lost his, you know, his first match after winning the championship. I mean, I get why they did it.
Sure, it just was still
it was
very surprising choice.
But it didn't take away from how great that match was.
No, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. The next one was Kalani Jordan and Wendy Chu. I had picked Wendy. I got that one wrong too.
I picked Kalani, and it's just, you know, because I just feel like it's she's still, I think it's not her time to drop the championship, but this thing with Wendy Chu, I really think she could benefit from a new gimmick, because I think this sleeping zombie whatever thing, it's just it's and I've heard other people say, I've heard that this isn't just me saying, I've seen other Facebook groups, you know, discussions, things like that. It's just this Wendy Chu zombie get whatever, you know, whatever gimmick, you know, that it is just isn't working. I mean, the one good thing I think that's come out of this is we've gotten to see Rosemary on NXT a couple of times.
Yep.
And stuff. So I really feel like Wendy Chu is due for a revamp, a new gimmick, you know, whatever. But I just this whatever it is that she is just isn't working for me.
Yep.
And that's
Obafemi, we all knew he was winning.
You know what though? That I still can't get over the fact that this dude he hasn't even had 30 matches and he looks this good. I mean, just we were talking about, you know, Dominic Mysterio being as young as he is and kind of when he finally puts it together.
He came from a wrestling family, though.
Yeah, but I mean, Obafemi just basically came out of nowhere, and I mean, he looks like he's been doing it forever, and he's going to keep getting better and better and better. And you know what?
It reminds me of there's only two wrestlers that come to mind when I really think of guys who just came in, went full time, and were basically from day one as good or better than everyone else, and that was Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar.
You know, as soon as you start talking, those are the actual two names I figured you were going to say, because I'm in agreement with you and stuff. And I cannot wait to see Obafemi on the main roster, because, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. I really think he's going to, I would not be surprised to see him as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble coming up. And then I feel like he's going to be one of the guys that gets called up to the main roster after.
I will make a bold prediction right now.
Ooh.
I will say that not only will he be an entrant in the Royal Rumble, but I will pay $25 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital if he is not one of the last four in the ring for the Royal Rumble.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
So there, that's my hot take right there. That's a 5-star.
Yeah.
That's a 5-star prediction. We'll see what happens.
But
yeah, the guys incredible.
Yeah, he is. But shout out to Tony D'Angelo for bringing the fight to him. It wasn't like, a squash or anything. D'Angelo is very underrated, and it's just again, it's just who do you think's gonna be the one to find? I mean, if that's the case. I mean, hell, he may go through his run undefeated, like Asuka did back in the day, and get called up to the main roster. I mean, I don't see anyone right now on that NXT roster that would maybe and even then this is kind of stretching it a bit, maybe Trick Williams, but I mean, I don't feel like there's anybody on that NXT roster right now that's a legit threat to hand Obafemi his first loss.
No.
And
I don't see it. I mean, I genuinely think that if anyone is like, hey, you're too good for NXT or whatever, you're relinquishing your title, there's going to be a this for it, you're going to Raw or whatever.
Or he drops it like in a triple threat match and doesn't get pinned, to kind of keep that undefeated streak alive.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, I think I can't think of anyone else. And then there's two more matches, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker. I think we all got that one right.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take it off Perez. And then it was
no,
Ethan.
But before we kind of go into talking about Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, the one big thing that came out of that match with Roxanne Perez and Jada Parker came to play, and she really showed she belonged.
Yep.
And but the big thing coming out of that match was the on-screen debut of one Julia from Stardom, and I believe she's also made some appearances for New Japan. I'm going to be honest with you. I've heard of her. I've heard all the hype, but I could honestly tell you I've never seen one of her matches. My buddy,
I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, she's really big over in Japan. But my buddy Jordan, shout out to my boy Jordan, who is a diehard New Japan fan. Like, if I have any questions about Japanese wrestling, I can go to Jordan, and he's usually really good about giving me an answer or finding someone who can get the answer and stuff. And he, reached out to a buddy of his and gave me some Julia matches to watch. I'm going to try to find some time over the next week or so to watch them and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I may see where this goes, because we saw Julia officially challenge Roxanne for the championship, but at the premiere for NXT on CW coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that'll probably that'll eventually happen and stuff. But I mean, Roxanne Perez, is awesome. This heel run is really doing wonders for her and stuff. And I mean, she's another one. We've talked about people like Dominic Mysterio. We've talked about Obafemi, all these kids that are young, but they look like they belong. And Roxanne, she's been doing it for a little while, because she spent some time in Ring of Honor and was the last Ring of Honor women's champion before Tony Khan stepped in and bought the company and stuff. But I mean, she's been doing it for a while, and she's showing she belongs and stuff. And it's just, I can't say enough good about her. But yeah, we got one more match to talk about, and then we're gonna kind of start winding down here with some all-in predictions and stuff. But we had the main event with Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, and I
got this one wrong.
Yeah, Shane was the only one that got it right and stuff, and I guess I'm not surprised that Ethan retained and stuff. I just thought it would have been cool to just get that pop of Joe winning it. Like I said, only turn around and drop it at like the next TNA pay-per-view and stuff. And that, but it was what it was and stuff. I mean, I feel like this is kind of that may have been Joe Hendry's last NXT appearance for a while. He's going to go back to TNA and kind of regroup and stuff. But I think if that's the case, I really feel like, we've not seen the last of Joe Hendry in NXT, because I honestly feel like once his contract with TNA is up, WWE is going to throw a lot of money at him and they're going to keep throwing. They're going to make it TNA. They're going to make it virtually impossible for him not to stay with TNA because they're going to throw him so much money
Yeah.
that he just ain't going to be able to pass it up. And I don't blame him. I mean, Joe Hendry's an incredible one-of-a-kind talent who is incredibly over right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And that, but you know what? Ethan Page has been killing it since he debuted in NXT a few
So
months
good.
ago. And it's a shame that, you know, for all the things that Tony Khan has gotten right with some of these talents, like, you know, Bryan Danielson and John Moxley and, you know, all these, you know, what he's done with Swerve. I mean, Swerve's an incredible example of, you know, but I mean, he's had just as many misses. And I think Ethan Page's work right now in NXT is proving that Tony Khan really dropped the ball with him.
Yeah, big time. I mean, there's no doubt. You look at just what kind of presence and aura he has, and to think that he's not a top guy is crazy.
Right. So we're about an hour in. So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna pull up the All Out card. I get them mixed up because it's a couple weeks apart.
I know.
And stuff. But I will say this: I was pretty much, and I think I discussed on the show, and everything that I was, despite the fact that the Now Arena where All Out is going to be is like literally just a little over 20 minutes north of my house. I was pretty much dead set on not going to it. But after what happened at the end of Dynamite, I if anything has ever sold me on a match that like I want to go, it was the way Dynamite ended with Hangman Page burning down Swerve's childhood home that he had just bought with his money that he got from his contract extension.
Damn. Yeah. That's hardcore.
Right. It is and stuff. And I mean, they're gonna main event I believe it's been announced that they're main eventing All Out with a lights out unsanctioned cage match, which means there's gonna be a lot of blood in that match.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But we're going to go through right now. As of right now, there are 8 announced matches for All Out. This card actually looks marketably better than last year's All Out that I actually sat front row ringside behind the announce table behind Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
And was on TV quite a bit and stuff. But so we've got Will Ospreay versus the Bastard Pack for the AEW International Championship. Who you got?
Ospreay.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think we're building up to eventually I believe Wrestle Dream is the next pay-per-view after this. I think that's when we're going to see Will Ospreay versus Ricochet and what should be a hell of a match. But yeah, I'm with you too. I'm going to go Ospreay. We've got for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, we have the Young Bucks defending against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta for the who do you got?
I'm always going against the Bucks. I know they're going to win, but I'm still going with Claudio and Wheeler.
I got to go with the Young Bucks. I think this is just another filler match.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely going to win. It just pisses me
off. We've got in the Chicago Street Fight, we have Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, who will be accompanied to the ring by Stokely Hathaway.
Ooh, I don't know. The Willow chick. I picked her last time and she lost, so I'm going to pick her again because
she's due for a win.
She's due, yeah. She's due for a hit, man.
No, are you talking about she won that tag match at in the pre-show at All In?
Oh,
so
well, I don't know. Maybe I did pick her.
I know she has. I believe it's the CMLL women's championship that she won. I believe recently. I don't think it's going to be on the line in that match, and for that match reason alone, I'm going to go with Statlander because I feel like I just usually when a lot of times when the baby faces pick the stipulation of the match, the heels find a way to win, and I feel like this is going to be the case. So I'm going to go with Statlander. There's going to be a 4-way match for the AEW Continental Championship with Kazuchika Okada defending against 3 challengers. I think they announced one on the show. I know there's going to be 2 more decided on Collision. But no way Okada drops this title.
Nope. Nor should he.
No. All right, and another match that I'm actually that's got me considering going to watch this show live is MJF versus Daniel Garcia.
It should be interesting. I think MJF wins it.
I'm gonna go with Daniel Garcia because I feel like Daniel Garcia is just right on that, just the precipice, or just he is on the edge, like he's just ready to go. Like I just feel like he's just right there, and this could be that moment, that match, or whatever that just where he goes from like this level here, like up to here. I think so. I think I'm going with Daniel Garcia. We have for the AEW TBS Championship, we have Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida. The stipulation here is Camille is banned from ringside.
Moné.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of her work, and I think I mentioned on the show like this past week or recently that I feel like her being in AEW has really exposed a lot of her flaws that I think WWE
all of them.
Well, yeah,
all of them.
But Sheeta's so ultra talented, but it's just Moné's not dropping the title on Saturday. All right, we got for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, Bryan Danielson, the new champion, making his first title defense against TNT champion Jack Perry.
And is there anything on the line?
Just the AEW Championship.
Ooh, that's tough. That's actually genuinely tough.
Okay.
I don't think it's I see a lot of reasons why Perry should win this. I see so many upsides for him winning this and also fucking Bryan up and putting him out during the match. And I think it would be incredible for him in his career. But I do ultimately think Bryan wins this. I don't think he's ready. They're ready to drop the title off him yet.
No, not right away.
But man, having Perry carry both belts and fucking beat Bryan convincingly, and
that would be something.
And injure him, quote unquote, storyline would be great for his character.
Well, I think basically at this point in time now, basically the next match Danielson loses is going to be his last match.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's not forget, Christian Cage is waiting in the wings somewhere with that AEW World Championship match that he can he can make it have happen at any time due to his winning that Casino Gauntlet match at All In.
Yep, you got the money in the bank.
He does. So, and in the main event of the evening, we have Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page in an unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. And again, this match is just the build up to this match has been great, but just the ending of Dynamite with the house being burned down, chef's kiss. That's this right here. This is the kind of shit AEW needs to get back to where they are, like, because it's stuff like this that proves it's not all about the flips and dives and these dream matches. You need good stories, and this match is living proof right there.
Yeah, you just need to be able to do it with more than one match every now and then. I think Swerve wins this.
If Swerve was defending the AEW Championship, I'd say absolutely. But I feel like in all of this, I think Hangman is due for a win. So I'm going to go Hangman.
I mean, you have really good odds in just saying the opposite of whatever I do. I mean, looking at our track record.
Well, you know what? Look at it this way. One of us is going to be right.
Yes, and it's probably going to be you.
Don't be so sure about that. So again, Shane was on here for a little bit. He had to go. But we'll make sure he gets his predictions in. And speaking of leaderboards and stuff, I didn't have a chance to update the leaderboards to reflect our picks from this past weekend's premium live event. So I'm going to get everything together after All Out is done, get everything together, and when we come back in 2 weeks for episode 25, we are. I will make sure to update the board, and we will give our takes on All Out and stuff. You know what? I was so pumped up by that video. Let's play it one more time to remind everybody what we got going on next week.
Sure, let's do it, man. I love hearing the sound of my own voice.
I love hearing the sound of your voice too.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Isaac here, 5-Star Takes. I am sharing some really exciting news with you guys. Next week, we're going to be celebrating the life and achievements of Harley Race. And we will be joined by none other than his son, Justin, who will be able to share some amazing stories and some memories with us. And I am so excited. So next week, Friday, 11 a.m., join us and listen to our interview with Harley Race's son, only on 5-Star Takes.
But that's not the only
5-Star Takes.
But that 5-Star Takes, guys, we really, if you would listen, so please tell anyone you know who's a Harley Race fan or just a fan of professional wrestling in general, watch this upcoming episode because we really think this interview with Justin is going to be
and then watch this one, and then go back and watch the one before it, and then the other 23.
You can find them all on our YouTube page. But Isaac, that wasn't the only video. That's not the only video that we have with your sultry voice on here. We have one other video because we got one last thing we got to do before we get out of here.
One last little piece of business to take care of. Let's roll that fucking video.
It's time for Picks or It Didn't Happen with Isaac. Hey, that's me.
That's me. All right. Shane had a random pick last week and fucked everything up, so we're starting over again at 0.
No. Remember?
We're battling. Yeah, but he's not here today. So
this one is just going to be for you. This is going to keep your personal.
I went with our boy Matt Cardona.
Okay, well,
Mr. GCW,
Mr. GCW, Mr. Always Ready. Speaking of always ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready to hear an axe sound. My dude. Every time.
Ready.
Did
you notice the shirt I was wearing today?
That just is that his shirt? Oh, okay, look at that. I didn't see I just saw the top of the hat. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
No.
Well, there we go.
We go.
We got a Matt Cardona. I'm surprised there's only one then.
Yeah, that's all there is for that and stuff. So, but no, Cardona was a class act. He definitely knows how to work the merch table and stuff. But he's a good dude, and that and everything. But it was fun, man. We had a lot of great, things to talk about. We're super excited again for next week's episode.
Oh my God. Stoked.
And stuff. So, but like you said, there'll be no picture. Didn't happen next week. It's going to be strictly just all about Harley Race and just, his life and career and his legacy. And, we're going to hear a lot of stories that you may know, but we're probably going to hear some stories that you didn't know.
I'm very excited because I have, I just know, some of the myth, some of the legend. It'll be good to get a first-hand account of what he was like as a person, and especially as a dad, because that's really interesting.
Because Isaac and I both being dads ourselves, I think we'll really appreciate hearing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. I'm very curious. So stay tuned, stick with us, because it's going to be a fun fucking show.
Yes, and we will all be on our best behavior.
Will we?
Find out next week.
Oh shit, where's the applause?
Hey, Isaac.
Yes.
Did we tell them who we're gonna have on our show next week?
We're having a guest next week.
Yeah, don't you remember the video that I played like twice on here?
Nah, bro, what happened?
Oh,
oh yeah, dude. Next week we got a guest, man.
Yeah, just so we'll see y'all next week, guys. Thanks for watching.
I love you guys.
Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shooting Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
This episode and all episodes of 5 Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5Star Takes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5 Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.